Hello class 9 pre-boards. Welcome to this video. This is continuation of the earlier video in which we have solved question 1 and 2 of class 9 maths pre-boards 2020 question paper. If you haven't seen that video yet, I suggest that you watch that video first. The link will be in the description box. Let us see question 3 and 4 in this particular video. Okay, ready for that? Let us look at our question number 3. Without using the trigonometric tables, evaluate the following, and we have been given this. Now, without using trigo table means that you cannot use the log table to find out like tan of 30 or tan of 60. You cannot use the table, but you will have to use the standard angle table. Okay, first of all, you must have the standard angle table ready for this. So let us see how we solve this. Okay, question 3a, let's write it down. For our standard angles, we will write the standard angle 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. This is what you have to do in rough. This will be 0, half, 1 upon root 2, root 3 by 2 and 1. And then we will write 1, root 3 by 2, 1 upon root 2, half, 0, 0, 1 upon root 3, 1, root 3 and infinity. Now you need to know this by heart. Okay. Now in case you do not know the shortcut for this, I will put the link up somewhere on the right hand corner. So you will be able to see that video and know how to get the trick of remembering these values for the standard angles. Let us come to our question number 3a. Now tan 30 is 1 upon root 3. And so cot becomes root 3 upon 1. Sec is 1 upon cos. Cos 30 is root 3 upon 2. So sec becomes 2 upon root 3 plus cosec is 1 upon sine. Sine 30 is half. So cosec becomes 2 upon 1. Tan 45 degrees is 1 minus 2 multiplied by cos 0 is 1. So 2 into 1. Sine 30 is half plus cos square 45. Cos 45 is 1 upon root 2 and that whole square. Now let us simplify this. Root 3 multiplied by root 3 upon 2 plus 2 minus 2 into 2 upon 1 plus 1 upon root 2 square. 1 square is 1, root 2 square is 2. So we have 3 upon 2 plus 2 minus 4 plus half. Okay, now I'm going to take this and this together. This will be 1.5 and half, that is 2. So I'll have this plus this, that is 4. 4 minus 4 is equal to, and that is our answer. Now let us come to 3b. Question 3b. Triangle ABC is right angle at B. M is the midpoint of BC, and prove that AM square plus BC square is equal to AC square plus BM square. Let us draw the diagram and then we'll start solving it. So we have drawn the diagram and we have written what is given over here. Now we have to prove that AM square plus BC square. AM is the hypotenuse for this triangle. So we will say in right triangle ABM by Pythagoras theorem, we will have AM square is equal to AB square plus BM square. Okay. Statement number 2. They want BC, the square of it. BC is the part of this big triangle and that's also a right triangle. So in right triangle ABC by Pythagoras theorem, we will have AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. And so statement number 3, we are not interested in AC square, we need BC square. So BC square is equal to AC square minus AB square. Statement number 4, we will take AM square plus BC square will be equal to AM is AB square plus BM square plus BC square is plus AC square minus AB square. okay, which is equal to BM square plus AC square. Isn't that what we needed here? Okay, so this will be from statement 1 and 3, and this is where we say we proved AM square plus BC square is equal to BM square plus AC square. 3C. Construct a frequency polygon for the following distribution. Use a graph sheet. So this is our distribution table. We'll have marks which will be on x-axis. Number of students will be on y-axis. Marks are up to 90 and number of students maximum are up to 34. So let's get the graph sheet. Pause the video. Now draw the graph and match it with my solution. So 3C question is about frequency polygon, and you will see that I have taken, this is your y-axis, and I have taken the number of students. So I'll write here number of students. Okay, and you will see number of students, the highest is 34. So you will see that I have taken, you see, this is 20, this is 25, this is 30. Now this is a 2 millimeter graph. Between 20 and 25 there are 10 divisions. So each unit becomes 2 divisions. This is 21, this is 22, this is 23, this is 24, and this is 25. Okay, got that? Alright, on the x-axis I have taken, as you can see, the values start from 30 going up to 90. So I have the values up to, there are 10 squares here. So this is 100, this is 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20 and 10, and this is 0. So this is the origin, which I'll write as O, and these are the marks. And we have taken 2 centimeters as 10 units, okay, which means each one of this is 1 unit. So this will be 11, 12, 13. In any case, marks are given as a group, so 10 to 20, 20 to 30. Now 30 to 40, the frequency, that is number of students, is 6. So from here to here this is 5, and then 2 divisions, so that is 6. Okay, now between 40 and 50 it is 15 students. So we come up to, this is your 10, this is your 15, and this is how we make the rectangles. All right, we come up to here. Then 50 to 60 it is 28. So after 25 this will be 26, this will be 27, and this will be 28. So we draw the horizontal line, and then we will take this vertical line to make this rectangle, and then out here this is 34. So you will see that this is 30, this is 35. So I come down 2 divisions, so that is my 34. I complete this rectangle. The next one, 70 to 80, is 18. So 18, this is 20, so this is 19 and this is 18. Or you can count from here 15, 16, 17, 18, make this rectangle. And then 80 to 90, the frequency is 8, that is 8 students. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you can come down, this is 10, this is 9, this is 8, and make this rectangle. Now this is actually histogram that we have drawn if we make the blocks like so, the rectangles. Frequency polygon says that you take the midpoint of this class interval, midpoint of class interval. So you'll take the 5th division and mark it as a dot. For the first one, 30 to 40, the earlier class interval would be 20 to 30. So you mark the 5th division. All the midpoints of these are marked. For the last one, 80 to 90, you go ahead to 90 to 100. Mark the 5th division here. And keep all these points ready. And all you have to do is just join them like so, with a straight line. Okay, with a ruler, and that is how you get your histogram. Now you will see that out here I have written the scale. Okay, can you see the scale that is written over here? So it should be written like so. All right, let's look at question 4a. A is a point on the x-axis and B is minus 7, 9. Distance between the points A and B is 15 units. Find the coordinates of point A. Now out here, you'll have to first draw the diagram. So let's just do that. Let's see the statements also. A lies on x-axis, and so let A equal to x comma 0. Remember, if the point is on x-axis, it becomes x comma 0. If it's on y-axis, it becomes 0 comma y. And we show the diagram like this. We write A as x comma 0, B as minus 7 comma 9, and the distance is 15 units. And so, because we are going to use the distance formula, all of you should know the distance formula by heart. Now remember, A is x comma 0, so we would have to have x minus minus 7. So my formula will not be x2 minus x1 whole square and y2 minus y1 whole square, but I'll keep it as x1 minus x2 whole square. We use the formula d equal to under root x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. Now we have to specify what is x1 and y1, so we write it like this, okay? And then all we have to do is substitute. Your distance is 15, so under root x minus minus 7, okay? And here it will be 0 minus 9, all right? So when we are writing the next step, it becomes 15 equal to under root x minus into minus becomes plus 7 whole square, and here 0 minus 9 is minus 9 whole square, and so it becomes 15 equal to under root, this becomes x squared plus 14x plus 49, and here it becomes plus 81. We are using a plus b whole square formula, which is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now we are going to square both sides, so 15 square will be equal to this. We write without the square root sign, so x squared plus 14x, and 49 plus 81 is 130. 15 square is 225. This we write as it is. Take 225 that side. So you will have 0 equal to x squared plus 14x minus 95. Okay. Now we have to factorize this. So we have x squared plus 14x minus 95, and that's equal to 0. So we will now write our product is going to be 1 into minus 95, that is minus 95, and we will have difference equal to minus 14. The factors of 95 will be 19, 5 is 95, so minus 19 and plus 5, okay? So x squared minus 19x plus 5x minus 95 equal to 0. So x into x minus 19 plus 5 into x minus 19 equal to 0. So x minus 19 into x plus 5 equal to 0. So x minus 19 equal to 0 or x plus 5 equal to 0. That will give us x equal to 19 or x equal to minus 5. Therefore, A, which is going to be x comma 0, is 19 comma 0 or minus 5 comma 0. So these are the coordinates of A, and that is our answer. Question 4b is a geometry diagram, this one. Let us read it. In the given figure, ABCD is a rectangle whose diagonals intersect at O. Diagonal AC is produced up to E, and angle DCE is 145. Find angle CAB, that is this one, AOB, that is this one, and ACB, that is this one. Okay, so first of all, we'll need to draw the diagram. Let's draw it. 4b diagram is ABCD is a rectangle and AC is produced, and this angle over here DCE, that is 145. We are to find out angle CAB. CAB is this, so I'll call that as small a. AOB, which is this, I'll call that as small b. ACB, this is a small c. So these are the angles we have to find in our given and find. We will write what is already given in the data, and then we will write the statements and the reasons. The first statement, we will write what is given. ABCD is a rectangle given. Now when it is a rectangle, we know that all angles are 90 degrees, so we write that. Statement 1, since angles of rectangle are 90 degrees each. And also we know for rectangle, the diagonals bisect each other. and the diagonals are also equal to each other. So we will write AC, which is diagonal, and BD, which is also diagonal of ABCD, and these diagonals are equal because it's a rectangle. Now, angle DCA, that is this angle over here, this 145 and this. So we are slowly going from 145 this way, okay? So 145 and this, what is the connection? They are angles in a linear pair, so we write that. So DCA, this one, is going to be 180 degrees minus 145, which is 35, because angles in a linear pair are supplementary. And so angle DCA, that is this one, will be equal to angle CAB, that is this one. This and this, they will be A and A because they are alternate angles. Why? Because your AB and DC, they are parallel to each other, and so we will have alternate angles are equal, and that's why even angle CAB will be equal to 35 degrees. So if I am looking at this angle, I need to know this angle, which is, we have found out that this angle over here is 35 because this angle is 35. So now if I have to find AOB, that is the second one, then I need to look at this triangle. Now in this triangle, I need to know AO and BO. They are going to be equal. So this will be 35, this will be 35 degrees. So we will write AO equal to BO. This statement number 3, which says AC equal to BD, we'll write therefore AC upon 2 is equal to BD upon 2. That is statement number 3. Now AC upon 2 means half of AC, and half of AC will be AO, and half of BD will be B. Therefore, in triangle AOB, look at your triangle AOB, we will have AO equal to BO, and therefore opposite AO will be angle ABO, and opposite BO is going to be angle BAO. They are equal to 35. This angle plus this 35 plus this 35 will be 180 degrees, since angles of the triangle are supplementary. So see how we are writing it. You have the diagram in front of you. You have drawn it already, right? Statement number 6, as diagonals of the rectangle bisect each other, then in triangle AOB, angle ABO equal to angle BAO equal to 35 degrees. From statement 7, as angles opposite to equal sides are equal, and also from statement 5, which says these two angles are 35, and the diagram. Then we will talk about the 3 angles of triangle AOB being supplementary. We write equal to 180 degrees, see there. And so we substitute 35 and AOB equal to this. And so we will have 70 degrees plus AOB equal to 180 degrees. So AOB turns out to be 180 degrees minus 70, which is 110 degrees. And that's our answer 2. Now we have to find this angle, this one, C. So we will take this triangle. Which one? Triangle ABC, because we already know that this angle over here is 90, this is 35, and this one, if you add to this, you will get angles of the triangle ABC. They are supplementary, so we write just that. So in triangle ABC, the 3 angles add up to 180 degrees because angles of the triangle are supplementary. And so 35 degrees plus 90 plus ACB equal to 180 degrees. That will be from statement 5, which said that the angles are 35 degrees each, and statement number 2. So angle ACB therefore is, these two go that side, 180 degrees minus these two, that will be your 55 degrees. And that is our answer 3. Question 4C. Find the altitude and area of an isosceles triangle whose perimeter is 64 centimeter and whose base is 24 centimeter. When we start solving something like this, remember tip number 1 is always to draw the diagram. So let's just do that. A diagram looks like this, triangle ABC, and it's an isosceles triangle. So we will show AB equal to AC, and we will call that as small a and small e. And the base we will call as B. Now we are given that the perimeter is 64 centimeter and the base is 24 centimeter. Perimeter is going to be AB plus AC plus BC. So it will be, in terms of A and B, it will be A plus A plus b, correct? So 64 is equal to 2a plus base is given as 24. So we connect what is known with what is unknown, and so 64 minus 24 is equal to 2a. 2a turns out to be 40. A turns out to be 40 upon 2, that is 20 centimeter. Now we are expected to find the altitude. So altitude means you'll have to drop the perpendicular. So we will draw AD, which is perpendicular to BC. Let AD be the altitude. So BD equal to DC will be half of BC. See there, this BD equal to DC, that will be half of BC, because altitude from the vertex bisects the base. So each one of them will be half of 24. So we write like so. Okay, so this is 12 and this is 12 centimeter. Got that? Now, in a triangle ADB, Pythagoras theorem will give us, now we know, see, A is 20. So this is 20 centimeter. This is 12 centimeter. So using the Pytho theorem, we can find AD. So in triangle ADB, by Pythagoras theorem, we'll write hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. It's very simple. We are just substituting the values. Now, when you are doing this, you have to draw the diagram first. Put it on pause, write it on your own and check with me whether you are right or no. Okay, and check the steps also so that the logical sequence also can be understood better that way. So AD square will be equal to 400 minus 144. That will give us 256. So AD will be under root that, and 16 square is 256. So we are going to get AD as 16 centimeters, which is the altitude, and that becomes our answer 1. Now, the second part they asked us is to find the area. So area of triangle is half base into height, correct? So that is half BC into AD. And so you will have half 24 into AD is 16, and that is 192 centimeters square, and that is our answer 2. Now in this video, I have solved question number 3 and 4 from 2020 Class 9 pre-boards. So remember, each video I will just put across two questions solved, so you don't have to do everything all on one day itself. Okay, now the link will be in the description box. Just keep looking out for that. We are ending this video here. Thank you for your precious time.